All right, you guys ready? Intro, first try, okay? Here we go. No retakes. Welcome, gamers, to Lord of Mysteries. I am... All right, let's start. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready? Chapter 172 of Lord of Mysteries is called Autopsy? Am I in the right chapter? All right, so it is. Chapter 172 is called... We're recording, right? We're not muted? Autopsy. How long has the members of parliament been dead for? Klein asked straightforwardly as he packed up his things. If it was more than 15 minutes, the information that he could obtain would decline considerably. If it was more than an hour, there would be very little left to find. If it was more than a month, contact with the spirit of the dead would most likely fail. Regrettably, the initial autopsy report shows that Mr. Maynard died between 9 and 11 last night. Dunn shook his head and said, "You only need to provide assistance and not consider if you can be of use." All right, Klein took his coat and walked out of the duty room with his hat and cane in hand. Dunsmith took his place at the Channesgate guardroom. Theoretically, as a beyonder, as long as one's spirituality was enhanced, things like spirit vision, divination, and ritualistic magic could be learned. Especially... Oh, yeah, they needed him because he was a diviner. Okay, now I remember where we're at. Especially for beyonders from the Sleepless sequence who were known for their high spirituality. But in actual fact, the difference between the various sequences was vastly obvious. Dunsmith and Leonard Mitchell has learned spirit vision, but they can only see faint white or light blue in the auras of others. They were unable to precisely differentiate the status of different body parts. Of course, they could definitely see spiritual things with spirit vision, but doing so wasn't as effective as using their spiritual perception. That also led to a problem in which beyonders at the Sleepless Midnight Poet and Nightmare sequences didn't enjoy activating their spirit vision. Similarly, if they were willing to, they could also learn spirit pendulums. I'm already reading wrong. Dowsing, dream divinations. I'm already messing up. Dowsing, dream divinations, and so on. But the rate of success wasn't something worth noting. It was the same situation with ritualistic magic as well. When the two of them walked past another, Dunn suddenly said, "I forgot to tell you that Inspector Tolley is in charge of the case." Tolley what? What was his last name? I am man of sheer will. Stay strong, Romero. Come on, it's winter season. It's our winter bulk art. We must stay strong, brother. We gotta hit the gym. We gotta get in the best shape of our life right now. He's waiting for you at the reception hall in the security company. Romero, to change into your new uniform and grab your new documents. Klein wasn't surprised and replying with a smile. New uniform, new documents. The Tingen Police Department sure is efficient. He had just advanced to sequence 8 the day before. It's because this case is very important, so Dunn spread his notes and took up Klein's previous spot. Klein walked upstairs, but he wasn't in a hurry to go to the reception hall. He entered the Nighthawk's break room and entered the attached bedroom to relieve himself. There was only a toilet bowl, a water bowl, and a bucket in the duty room. Then he changed into the police uniform that revealed his promotion to 2 silver stars and put on his peak cap. Is it like pointy? Or is he talking about like a half top? Peak hat with his 2 crossed swords and a crown. After transferring his flaring sun charm, Azik's copper whistle, his ritual ingredient... Dude, this guy is stacked, dude. Klein has so much. His ritual ingredients and other items, Klein smoothed out his uniform, took his cane, and exited the break room. I don't know how he's gonna fight. Is he gonna be using abilities like he doesn't know how to use yet? Or is... Ari, no. He's gonna start doing abilities that he doesn't even know he can he has, right? Oh, it's crazy. I'm excited. He passed through the partition and saw Inspector Tolley seated in the sofa area. It has been a while since they last met. The tall police officer seemed to have gained some weight, and his stomach was even more outstanding. With this thick mustache and hair, he looked like a brown bear and had just escaped from a circus. Oh, maybe he joins? I'm glad to work with you again. When Tolley saw that it was a Nighthawk that he knew, he let out a breath of relief. He stood up and extended his beer paw. Wait, when did they work together? Oh, we're more stricter. We're spoilers. No, it's okay, Yark. Yeah, we'll just be a little bit careful. Smited. No, we'll just be careful. Yeah, no, we should. Yeah, I guess I get why you're being stricter. Yeah, we're just trying to be careful for spoilers. Even if it's like a hint or like a subtle reference I might not pick up on yet, I might pick up on it. No, it's okay. We'll be careful. Yeah, we'll be careful. No, thank you though. Wait, who's Tolley? Have we met this guy before? Was it when they first went to go find the kid that was kidnapped? Circus make easy react hard now. I'm excited, dude. Like, anytime I hear the word circus, I'm like, it's time for Klein to join. Tolley stole a glance at Klein's 2 shimmering silver stars, shoulder strapped, and said with envy, we're at the same rank now, and it hasn't even been a month. At first, Klein wanted to reply solemnly that the danger that we encountered is 10 times worse than yours, but he remembered his identity then. Sequence a clown. Maybe I can give it a try. Using his spirituality, he looked at the reflection on his facial expression. He lifted the corner of his lips and replied with a smile, maybe in another few months, you'll have to call me sir. Damn, he's being cocky. They worked together at the Deweyville case. He was haunted by the ghost of a lady Oh, the business guy. Who that? Oh, the factory owner. Yeah, okay. Thank you. The one. Oh. You automatically know your new... Oh, you're right. You automatically know your abilities. It was in the last chapter. Thank you. Redacted. All right, Klein hasn't given up his cane. Now that he had become a clown, that cane was truly a viable weapon. Now he can use it. After exiting the Blackthorn Security Company, Klein and Tolley walked down side by side. Oh, yeah, right. This was the guy he worked with when they went to him at the factory, forming a great contrast due to the sickness and fatness of the two. I feel like we could even make an audience at the circus laugh. Klein suddenly jested. Tolley nodded in absolute agreement, said, yes, I feel our vast contrast brings a comedic effect. I like this. Do you know that some circuses are trying to use fat and skinny, tall and short clown combinations in their performances? No, actually, I meant a beast tamer. No, actually, I meant a beast tamer and a brown bear. Klein, of course, wouldn't make such a rude... Are we hinting? This is what I talked about last stream. A beast tamer. Maybe that is an actual role. Where you use, like familiars, right? Oh, that's gonna be sick. He went along with it and replied, it's a pity that there are no fixed circuses in Tingen. That's right, but we have operas, theaters, and music halls. Inspector Tolley replied, oh, and maybe he can have like a role there. They, like back in the day, like for, like in theaters or like opera back in the day, like silent films, they would have people on the piano play the music. Maybe he can do something like as a clown, right? At an opera, right? And then he can still like work. It is confirmed that Mr. Maynard was murdered. He was murdered? Wait, the guy at the factory was murdered? Is it confirmed that Mr. Maynard was murdered? We can't be certain, but his wife and 2 sons aren't willing to believe the possibility that he died due to a sudden illness, and there was really something wrong at the scene. When Maynard was found, he was naked on the guest room's bed. Tolley said, wait! No, redacted? Wait, why are you guys saying redacted? You automatically know your new redacted. Why are you guys saying redacted? What happened? It's a phase. It's in phase for the time. Wait, why are you guys saying redacted? No, Maynard is... Oh, he's a new case. Oh, I thought it was only... Like, I sympathized for him. Like, even though he was like a business dude, like, he still paid the family and like he felt sympathy in some level. And I'm like, I was sad that he died. Okay, so it wasn't him. Okay. He slept separately from his wine. He slept separately from his wine. Oh my god, I said wine again. He slept separately from his wife. Klein leaned back against the carriage wall and mimicked the main character in various detective films. Tully shook his head and said, no, his wife hasn't been in Tingen recently. She went to Backland to attend a very important social ball. I said that so loud. I think the audio spiked. Sorry about that. You might not know, but she's the leader of a new party. She's the daughter of someone from the House of Combs. She's still on her way back to Tingen via steam locomotive. She merely used the telegram to express her opinions on the matter. Maynard is also a member of the new party. He's been a Tingen member of parliament for more than 10 years. He intended to run for mayor in the next year's election. Okay. Okay. But doing wine, I know. I said wine twice. Okay, hold up. People told me Backland, and I know Buckland or Buckland is wrong. But doing factorial, it's like it's in my DNA, bro. The mispronunciations. Spoilers, it might continue in volume 2. Lund Uni. Okay. In other words, his death might be related to this. Klein asked casually and immediately left. I'm sorry, I'm only supposed to be helping with the autopsy. The rest of the matter is not within my area of concern. You don't have to answer. Totally didn't mind much, but sighed. Autopsy, you're very cautious. As for your guesses, I would only say that there's a possibility that there was a gathering last night at Maynard's place. There were too many guests, and we temporarily can't find any main suspects. Plus, these guests have been decent background, so we have to be very careful. We can't make any mistakes. I understand. Klein nodded faintly and asked about the details of the scene. Maynard's house was a bungalow located in Golden Indusboro. It was surrounded by gardens and fields. There was a stable, a fountain, and a broad pathway built from cement. Klein put on his peak hat with... This is a top hat, right? I guess they just changed the translation. Klein put on a peak hat with its police badge and followed it behind Inspector Tully. They passed through the police streamer and entered the double-story house under the gaze of every policeman present. In the living room, there were 2 male and 4 female probationary inspectors who were talking to people individually to gather statements. Klein looked around and saw the many gentlemen in tuxedos and a few ladies in glamorous dresses and checkered gaze hats. They're the guests who spent the night here, Tully explained, and led Klein up the stairs to the second floor directly. Along the way, when the police constables who were searching through the room saw that the two, they revealed a look of respect without stopping them. Perhaps it was the effect of the inspector epaulets. This is the guest room where Maynard's corpse was discovered. The brawny Tully stopped with the crimson wooden door. Klein thought and asked which guest was assigned to this guest room. Nobody. There are too many guest rooms in the house, so it was in use. Tully put on his white gloves and turned the knob to the crimson wooden door. He made the constable who was keeping watch leave temporarily. Then sorry, I mispronounced that. Then he nodded at Klein and said, Inspector Moretti, I'll leave the rest to you. May the goddess bless us, and I hope that we find something. Klein put on his white gloves too and locked the door behind him. He walked to the side of the bed and saw that the crimson bed sheets were abnormally messy. The corpse laying on it was covered with a white cloth. At this point, Klein could be considered to be quite experienced. He pulled away the white cloth without fear and looked at the member of Parliament, Maynard. The man was in his 40s, his blonde hair was trimmed and short, and his expression was a mixture of pain and happiness. Klein took 2 steps back and took out the ingredients he needed. He quickly finished the setup for the mediumship ritual. As the faint, calming fragrance swirled around him, he recited the divination statements that he thought of long ago. The cause of Maynard's death, the cause of Maynard's death. As he recited the statement, Klein retreated to a nearby high-backed chair and sat down slowly. His eyes darkened, then he leaned back and quickly fell into a deep sleep. In the illusionary and blurry world, he suddenly saw the gentleman from earlier. With his open blue eyes, Maynard was laying prostrate above a woman with an outstanding body and fair skin. He was thrusting hard against her body. He was cheating on his wife. Oh, you guys linked the whistle? Okay, let me look at the end of the chapter. The message and map. Oh, really? I can look at that? I can look at the map? Really? Because I know you guys talked about it was a spoiler or not. Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll take a look right now. In the illusory and blurry world, he suddenly saw the gentleman from earlier. With his open blue eyes, Maynard was laying prostrate above a woman with an outstanding body and fair skin. He was thrusting hard against her body. He first displayed an expression of extreme satisfaction and happiness. Then he suddenly clutched his chest with his right hand. His expression then grew contorted. Did he have a heart attack with her? Cropped map? Oh, okay. Okay, for sure. Oh, it's probably just showing the places I know. Okay, that actually makes more sense. Okay. Small map only. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Thank you. As Maynard fell, the image quickly shattered. Klein opened his eyes and woke up from his dream. I can't believe I can actually watch porn in such a manner. Should I say that on the video? I know YouTube is very weird. Like, this dude is just watching porn through a dream divination. Wait, this is the first time there's been any form of, like adult content in this series, right? It's been a lot of, like, body imagery and body horror, but not like this level of body imagery. Okay. Pa. As Maynard fell, the image quickly shattered. Klein opened his eyes and woke up from his dream. I can't believe I can actually watch porn in such a manner. He's like, hell yeah. So Maynard had an affair and died of exhaustion? Damn. Klein chuckled and massaged his temples. He took out a pen and paper before doing another ritual. Okay, I don't know if you guys seen the movie, Beau is Afraid. I think the whole point was he was scared because if he did that, he'd die, right? I think that was something that was instilled to him by his mom or dad as a child, that like he can't do that, otherwise he might die, right? I think that was like the same premise that happened to Maynard. He took out a pen and paper before doing another ritual. He drew a portrait of the lady he had seen in the dream with the aid of the ritual. Of course, everything below her neck was omitted. It was a woman whose age was hard to tell. She had to... Watch it be Trissy. It was a woman whose age was hard to tell. She had the mature vibe of a woman in her 30s, but there was a remnant of innocence to her. Her eyes were crystal clear, and she had a delicate look. Klein looked at his work, then put away his ritual ingredients and dispelled the spirituality wall. He leaned sideways to grab his silver-edged cane. Suddenly, he heard the reverberating sound of someone clearing the throat. He immediately got goosebumps. Klein looked towards the bed and saw Maynard gripping the crimson bedsheet so tightly. Is he? Shut up! He's gonna grab his hand, just like the clown. Klein looked towards the bed and saw that Maynard gripping the crimson bedsheet so tightly that the tendons on the backs of his hands were protruding out. With a swish, the member of parliament who died between 9 and 11 the previous night suddenly sat up. Saliva drooled from the corners of his lips as he opened his vacant eyes. Shut up! Okay, I was about to say, maybe Klein is somehow related to Death. Just how he confirmed Azik is related or a descendant of Death somehow. I thought maybe he was, because the clown was reanimated and now he's reanimated. But the chapter's called Zombiefication, so I might be wrong. But let's see. Chapter 173 is called Zombiefication. Before Klein, you know what's funny? I just recently rewatched 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later. I'm so hyped for 28 Years Later. I'm on that zombie binge spree right now, so if you guys have any zombie recommendations, you let me know, dude. Anime or movies or series on Netflix or anything, you let me know. Before Klein could come up with any new ideas, he saw the rigid Maynard lift both his hands up and body lunged forward to his left amidst the sound of hurtling wind. In the past, his dulled reactions under such sudden, unexpected situations would have made it hard for him to avoid this. Even if he had noticed the attack ahead of time, he would have had to roll away to avoid the fast-moving corpse. But now Klein could nearly react on instinct. He stomped down with his bright buttonless leather boots and jumped diagonally onto the high back chair. He has really good reactions. As if it had only been a day since he advanced, he was still getting used to his power, agility, and speed. He had accidentally leaped too high in the air and landed on the top of the chair's high back. Oh, okay. Oh, I haven't watched that, Romero. I should look into that. I've never heard of that channel. I'll look into it. That sounds cool. Yeah, dude, I loved it, man. It was so fun rewatching it. I hate that I resold those DVDs back in the day. I had them, man, and I sold them. I sold them to a friend. I should have kept them. I was getting rid of all my old DVDs and just switching to Blu-rays, as you can see. So I lost them. And you can't even buy them, bro. People resell them for so much. It frustrates me, man. It annoys me, man. Yeah, it annoys me, man. Scalpers and the secondhand market. It's so frustrating. I lost my place, and I found my place. As if it had only been a day since he advanced, he was still getting used to it, and I'm rereading this. He had accidentally leaped too high into the air and landed on the top of the chair's high back. It was a narrow edge. Klein's heart tightened as he quickly controlled his body and adjusted his center of gravity. He wavered for a moment and surprisingly managed to stabilize himself like a black cat fluctuating its balance and poise. As he was wavering, he felt he flailed, his left arm swinging his cane into the zombie's ribs. As it pounced forward, the strike caused it to lose its balance and his staggered fell onto the carpet. Clang was standing on top of the chair as he felt from his revolver by raising his right hand. Dude, he is so good, dude. He attempted to pull it out from the holster so that he could deliver its silver demon hunting bullet at the zombie in front of him. But in that instant, he suddenly wondered about the aftermath. If he were to blow a hole in the Member of Parliament Maynard's corpse, how was he going to explain the cause of death to the deceased family or members of Parliament who were focused on the matter? All I did was double tap his corpse. Because he's just that strong. Oh, Klein Cat was mentioned. Yeah, cat-like. You guys did show me fan art of Cat Klein. I want to look at more fan art. Once we're done with volume 1, you guys got to send me more fan art so I can take a look, because that sounds kind of fun. I want to take a look. Oh wait, I realized I didn't open up my Twitch, and of course it's a viewer bot. We're gonna skip that. All I did was double tap his corpse. As he was thinking, Klein reached into the pocket of his police uniform and felt a triangular plate. The Requiem charm. The sleep charm? No, it's not the sleep charm. That's something else. The Requiem charm. He quickly made a decision. He took out the silver amulet without hesitation and let a low shout in Hermes. Crimson. As the incantation reverberated within the room, the charm started to release a peaceful aura. Klein quickly infused his spirituality into the amulet and tossed it to the zombie Maynard, who was struggling to get up. A cold blue fire appeared, enveloping the triangular plate. A serene and gentle black aura spread forth rapidly. Oh, the black flame! Eliminating the anxiety and worry of the soul. Zombie Maynard stopped. His eyes started staring blankly at the ground, his saliva dripping onto the carpet. Klein heaved a sigh of relief and planned to take out the materials set up by a ritual to purify the desecrated beings, but suddenly Maynard once again let out a groan. His blank eyes focused on the left pocket. Yo, what's up, Unhinged Provoker? I see you on Twitch. What's up, dude? Maynard once again let out a groan. His blank eyes focused on the left pocket of Klein's police uniform again. Shit, Klein leaped from the top of the chair to the ledge of the Oriole window. Damn, he's quick, dude. He is a cat, dude. At the same time, he heard the sound of a chair breaking. Klein had no choice but to take out a rectangular silver plate. The slumber charm. Oh, this is the sleeping charm. It wasn't only living things that could be put into a deep sleep. The dead were in a state of eternal sleep and would only be woken up under unusual circumstances. In certain books of mysticism, there were even such a description of regarding zombies. They slumber by the day and wake up in the night. Crimson. Klein once again recited the incantation in Hermes. He intended to disregard the consequences and shoot the corpse with his revolver if that failed again. The problems that came later wouldn't matter as if he was dead. As he felt the silver rectangular plate in the palm turn cold, Klein injected his spirituality into it and tossed the charm out. A dark red flame illuminated his eyes as the sound of a light explosion reverberated around the room. A gentle power spread. Is this considered a fight? Can I add this on my favorite fights so far? I'm gonna add it. 15 more subs. I know, dude. We're so close, dude. Oh, we're so close, dude. It's so hype. We're so close to 1,000, man. Oh, we're so I'm so excited, dude. Especially because we finally hit a year on YouTube. That's cool, man. That means a lot to me, guys. Thank you. I promise I won't cry. I won't cry. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it. I've already cried too many times in a Lord of Mystery stream. I'm gonna hold it for a little bit. A gentle power spread forth, bringing with it a fatigue that affected every living being. Zombie Maynard had just propped himself up using the chair when he wavered. His eyes closed and he fell onto the back with a plop. With what had just happened, Klein didn't dare to relax. He immediately took out the He immediately took out the Amantha extract distilled from night, vanilla, slumber flower, and camellia. As well as the bark of the dragon tree and the full moon essential oils made from the moonflowers. He quickly set up a sacrificial altar. This is a squabble. Okay, we can add it. I'll add it to the squabble list. There's the fight list. Okay, I got it. For my fights, I have it categorized by fights and squabbles. I like that. Okay, that way we can distinguish like main fights and then like squabbles. Okay. Because I am adding every time there's a fight scene, quote unquote, so don't forget. Yeah, I mispronounced that, Randy. This will age horribly, we'll see. Right on the heels of that, he sealed the surrounding area with a spirituality wall with the aid of the holy night powder, encompassing the altar of the sleeping zombie Maynard. After silently reciting the incantation and lighting 3 corresponding candles, he dripped a few drops of essential oils extract contact and scattered the various powders onto the flames. Klein then took a step back and cautiously looked at the zombie Maynard. He then recited in Hermes, "O Evernight Goddess, nobler than the stars and more eternal than eternity, I pray for your loving grace. I pray for you. No, I pray that you look over your loyal guardian. I pray for the power of crimson. I pray for the power of sleep and silence. I pray that you purify the unclean being around me, the gentleman once called John Maynard. Moonflower, a herb that belongs to the red moon, please bestow your powers to my incantation. Slumber flower, a herb that belongs to the red moon, please bestow your powers to my incantation." It was as if a midnight breeze blew within the wall of spirituality. A thin veil of black steam started to billow from zombie Maynard. When everything settled, Klein used his spirit vision and divination to repeatedly confirm that the zombie wouldn't awaken once more. Okay, that's good. After seeing the results, his worries eased. He ended the ritual and dispelled the wall of spirituality. Why would he suddenly come back to life? That is 2 dead bodies coming back to life in front of Klein. There has to be something behind it. Why would he suddenly come back to life? Klein stood in front of Maynard, who was on the carpet. He knitted his brows as he looked down at the corpse. To a beyonder with high spirituality, sensitivity, there were obvious signs to note if a corpse would come back to life or not. Much less Klein, who was a seer. He often had a premonition of similar matters, but what had happened just now completely took him by surprise. Unless there is more mysterious influence at play, just like what happened with the suited clown. Klein recalled the scene in his head and faintly sensed the problem. There has to be something within him. Zombie Maynard had been trying to attack the left pocket of his police uniform. Left pocket. Klein transferred his black cane to his right palm, then reached for the pocket with his left hand. He took out the ancient copper whistle. Oh, it's related to a zik. He took out the ancient copper whistle that was a zik. So it has, like by nature, it interacts with the dead. It was a copper whistle carved with the many mysterious patterns. It was a copper whistle used to summon a Zik's messenger. This copper whistle zombified Maynard. So how the hell did we zombify the suited clown? We didn't have anything that belonged to a Zik at the time. Oh, no, hold up. They might bring it up right here. This copper whistle zombified Maynard. That's quite plausible. Even if Mr. Zik isn't a descendant of death, he definitely has a certain connection with death. It's logical that the objects that he carries with him would produce such an effect. Klein nodded and thought. He took out a copper penny and did a quick divination about the conclusion. As he was at the scene of the incident, holding the relevant objects and had ample information, he quickly got a result. He saw that the copper penny fall into his palm, portrait facing up. This means yes, to think that Mr. Zik didn't remind me to be cautious, that these things could happen. Well, he's an amnesiac, so it's not uncommon to forget this. Besides, the copper whistle might not have negative effects when it was on him. There's a high possibility that it was suppressed. I shouldn't take this copper whistle with me when I'm a cemeteries or ancient castles. I read that wrong. Places that are prone to haunting. Otherwise, I'll just be finding trouble for myself and crazily court death. Slight foreshadowing, maybe in 1,000 chapters. Welcome, yeah, dude. Welcome. Hi, guys. I'm a bit late today. No, it's okay, fool. No, it's okay. I lampooned for a little bit at the start of stream. It's okay. We're on our 2nd chapter of the day. No, it's okay. What's up, guys? Thank you guys for joining, dude. Just 25 of you guys here. Klein suddenly made a mental note. He then carried the naked Maynard back onto the bed without much effort. Looking at the obvious marks on the corpse left behind by the stroke of the cane, Klein sighed. He covered the corpse with a piece of white cloth and pretended not to notice. I'll leave this problem to the police department to vex over it. Oh, and the 2 charms I used just now can be considered mission-related expenses, so I can get the compensated, he thought as he packed up. He then took the portrait and unlocked the door. The door opened with a creak and Klein saw Inspector Tully, who had been guarding outside, not allowing anyone to come near. What happened just now? Tully asked in doubt and worry. He could faintly hear the action going on in the room. Klein smiled and deliberately said with a little exaggeration, Member of Parliament Maynard came back to life and tried to give me a passionate hug. Don't joke like that. Tully looked into the room with an expression. Why so serious? Was it the Joker? Why so serious? Yeah, Easy Gigi can make a tier of his favorite moments in Volume 1. You are, as of right now, dude. You guys already know my favorite moment. Not for good reasons, but just like usually if something gets me emotional, like you're already up there. The shit with Old Neil fucked me up so much, man. No, I'm not gonna think about it. I want to think about it. I'm gonna cry. That messed me up so much more than I thought it would mess with. I mean, yes, because of real life and then reading the series. But dude, that hit so freaking hard, man. Like as of right now, that is my I unless something more tragic happens at the end of volume 1, I think that might be number 1. I shouldn't say that. I'm not gonna read chat for like until we finish the chapter. Just so because I don't want you guys to be like, wait till you finish volume 1. No, hold up. I'm gonna hold off. Why so serious? Klein said, throwing up his hands. Due to an unconfirmed reason, members of Parliament Maniers became a zombie. Well, the kind of things that would happen in ghost stories. Fortunately, I hadn't left yet, so I used ritualistic magic to purify the desecration, allowing him to return to his eternal slumber. Is that related to his cause of death? Totally asked, his expression stern. I cannot give you an answer to that. I don't even know what the problem is. You should know that in our field, unexplained things are a common occurrence, Klein said. He then looked at the portrait in his hand. When I was doing the mediumship ritual, I saw that the scene of Maynard's death, he was engaging in some activities. That's putting it nicely. He was engaging in some activities that should only be done, between a husband and a wife with this woman. And at climax of his joy, he clutched his chest where his heart is. You mean that is the cause of death? Tully gave him a nudge and a wink. Is that, In theory, yes, but you should wait for the autopsy. Klein handed the portrait over to Inspector Tully. Tully had only glanced at it when he explained, Madam Sharon. Klein looked at him, lost. Is she very famous? Yes, judging from her look and figure, she should be famous. He lampooned in his heart. So we have Lady Sharon, and I have to add Inspector Tully. 2 new names. Okay, I'll add that at the end of the chapter. Yes, judging from her looks and figure, she should be famous. He lampooned in his heart. Tully looked around and introduced her in a somewhat excited manner. Madam Sharon is the prettiest widow in Tingan City. Oh, his wife. She's the most sought-after lady in social settings. She was the second wife of Baron Coy, but unfortunately became widow. Baron Coy. Maybe a descendant of a Zik? She is welcomed by many amongst the Novetchui, Richie, merchants, and aristocrats. A what? She is welcomed by many amongst the Noviu, Richie, merchants. I read that so wrong, bro. I'm trying to give it like a French accent. That was so bad. No hint for Izagiki? Okay, no hint. Thank you. Like, we can neither confirm nor deny. I like it. It is room. I almost skipped the line. I'm not going to say that. We are not digesting the I am lost potion. Some who we can invited to the new back end. Dude, thank you for joining, full. Dude, thank you. Dude, there's like 4 members. That is so cool. No, not a spoiler in my opinion. No, we're okay. Dude, thank you guys for joining. That is so cool. Thank you. Nah, man, that means a lot, bro. Thank you guys. That is so cool. I never thought we'd get here, but here we are. That is so cool. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since I started reading Lord of Mysteries with you guys, I like reading a lot more. Back in the day, I never liked reading. But I am slowly starting to get back into reading. I used to read a lot as a kid, but it's like now I'm like getting back into it and like, this is cool, man. Thank you guys. Man, you are making this like really fun and engaging and exciting. Like, we're making beautiful memories together. I want to share that with you guys. Thank you. That is so cool. Nah, I like it. Yeah, put on the sunglasses. Nouvi, Richie means new, rich, and French. Oh, so my French accent played in the part. Okay. So it points to people that just got rich and act all smug about it. Ah, okay. Love you easy, but I can't say I've ever heard somebody butcher that pronunciation harder. You can tell I'm an American. I fucked that up without even trying. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. It is rumored that she... Wait, let me read that. She is welcomed by many amongst the Noviu, rich, merchants. I'll use Google Translate. Merchants and aristocrats. Someone who can be invited to the banquets by both the Conservative Party and the New Party. It's rumored that she and her stepson, the current Baron Coy, are on friendly terms with many nobles and seniors, civilian servants, and Buckland. She is a powerful lady. To think that she had the Member of Parliament Maynard had such a relationship. Oh, simply put, she's an exceptional socialist, Klein secretly concluded. He turned around and put it into the room. The next part is not included in my job description. How you interrogate Madam Sharon is none of my business. Also, I hit Member of Parliament Maynard when it came before the purification. Do I have to deal with it and think of an explanation? Oh, because of the damage? Oh, dude. Nah, man. Nah, you don't have to do that, man. Enough stalling. Okay, enough stalling. I'll stop now. Alright, chapter 174. It's called Madam Sharon. What? The beard-like totally jumped in shock and looked at Klein before looking into the room. With agility that wasn't suited to his body, he dashed in. He pulled back the white cloth that covered the corpse, and after examining the body carefully, he heaved a breath of relief. It's better than I imagined. It's not that serious problem. Maybe I shouldn't draw my revolver and shot Maybe I should have drawn my revolver and shot Maynard 5 times with a demon hunting bullets. Let's see if you have that serious or not. Let's see if you find that serious or not. Klein lampooned inwardly and pointed outside the door. And we are recording, correct? Yes. That's all you need for me, right? No, Tolly shouted. Wait a moment. Klein asked, puzzled. Why? Tolly expressed seriously. We have to prevent any accidents from happening. After we talk to Maynard Sharon and get her testimony, I'll send you back to Zotland Street. If Maynard can resurrect after being dead for 10 hours, what else couldn't happen? What would I do if I were to leave Tolly added in his head? Alright, Klein massaged his temples and said, find a quiet room for me to rest in then. Alright, Klein massaged his temples and said, find a quiet room. I just reread that. He wasn't feeling his best in every aspect as he had just advanced a day ago. Having just performed multiple ritual ceremonies, used 2 charms, and suffered a non-trivial scare, he needed to enter cognition to eliminate any problems. Klein was now extremely cautious about losing control. Yeah, even more now, dude. Especially after what happened to Old Neil, he has to be more cautious. Totally covered the dead body with the white cloth again. He obviously relaxed and replied, no problem. He brought Klein to a guest room that was closer to the sunlit side of the house. He pointed and said, Inspector Moretti, don't worry. No one will disturb you. I'll pay Madame Sharon a visit first. Klein nodded silently and watched him walk away. Then he closed the door and drew the curtains. In the dim, silent bedroom, he slowly walked over the rocking chair and sat down. I hear rocking chairs and I get scared, man. Cogitation. I'll use Google Translate when it comes out again. I got you, username. I got you. When the word comes up again, we will use Google Translate. I'm saying it wrong. I know. I'm sorry, dude. We're almost done with volume 1, and I'm still mispronouncing all this, dude. That word has been brought up so many times, and I'm still mispronouncing it. Oh, man. Klein nodded slightly and watched him walk away. Then he closed the door and drew the curtains. In the dim, silent bedroom, he slowly walked over to the rocking chair and sat down comfortably. He allowed his body to rock back and forth rhythmically. There were countless spherical phantasmal lights overlapping his mind. The buzzing sounds in Klein's ears and the throbbing ache in his head slowly vanished bit by bit. When we raised the volume a bit, when his situation stabilized, he outlined a bed, cupboard, and other furniture. Then he calmly thought about his earlier attempts. There isn't much feedback for a few exaggerated jokes. Maybe I have yet to control the powers of the clown potion, as there are still remnant negative effects. Of course, I can't eliminate the possibility that such acting has little effect. Personally, I'm not quite willing to play the role of a clown. Not yet, but since I picked the sequence pathway, I can only bite the bullet and continue. Actually, everyone has to act like a clown at one point or another in their lives. I don't have to be so uncomfortable with the idea. I have to quickly understand a clown's core elements. As various thoughts churned in his mind, Klein suddenly took out a brass halfpence. Mostly out of habit, he divined if Maynard's death was due to supernatural influences. Maybe it's an occupational hazard. Klein shook his head and laughed. His eyes grew dark as he recited repeatedly, John Maynard's death was due to supernatural influences. Ding. He flipped a coin as he slouched into the rocking chair. He watched his brass luster twinkle as it rotated in the air. Pa! The coin fell right into Klein's open palm, revealing the number half facing up. 1/2 facing up. Half facing up. A negative answer. In other words, there weren't any supernatural influences, or 1/2. My bad. A negative answer. In other words, there weren't any supernatural influences involving in John Maynard's death. So it's just heart attack. I guess that man died of orgasmic pleasure. The deceased shouldn't be laughed at, so I won't be using an inspired Chinese face to mock him. Klein put away his coin and allowed his thoughts to wander before he nearly fell asleep. Knock, knock, knock. Under the slow, rhythmic knocking, Klein tidied his clothes, put on his oh, he's using a policeman's pickup. That's why you guys send the police Klein outfit. Now I remember. Okay, now I get it. My bad. I keep forgetting he's in the police uniform, even though they literally described him with the 2 striped stars and whatnot. My bad, my bad. Under slow, rhythmic knocking, Klein tidied his clothing, put on his policeman peak cap, and walked to the door. Just as his right palm touched the knob, a scene appeared in his mind. The beer-like Inspector Tully was standing outside the door and pulling his collar. His expression looked disturbed and helpless. A scene appeared in his mind. So this is before he opened the door. Klein turned the knob and opened the door leisurely. Inspector Tully appeared before him as he pulled up. Did he just see the future? He just saw the future without using a dream divination? No fucking way. His reflexes, he's actually gonna have cat-like reflexes when he's fighting. My man's gonna be like actually seeing glimpses of when he's fighting? Shut up. There's no way he's getting that from a clown potion. Sorry for making you wait so long. We've already found Madame Sharon and obtained her statement. You can return to Zotland Street. I'm really sorry for taking up your precious time. Klein didn't ask for the reason for his current emotions, but he smiled and said, I am lowering the volume because I can see it's spiking a little bit. I'm really sorry for taking up your precious time. Klein didn't ask for the reason for his current emotions, but smiled and said, Madame Sharon admitted that she was with Maynard last night. Yes, she said that under the influence of alcohol, she and Maynard didn't manage to control themselves. When she found out that he had died of a heart attack, she was very afraid, so she fled the room after she tidied herself up. She then hid her own... Oh, shit, she was behind it. She then hid in her own guest room. We don't have enough reason to raise charges against her right now, so we had to let her go while restricting some of her freedom. We'll have to wait for the autopsy, and Detective totally explained in detail. It's like advanced auto divination. That is so... Oh, you're right. We said when you advance, your abilities automatically get enhanced. Okay, advanced auto divination. That is so cool. So he doesn't have to physically do a divination. It just happened. Oh, that is so cool. Klein leaned his head sideways and smiled. Who are you explaining this to? Tully shook his head and forced a bitter smile. Oh yeah, I don't have to explain it to you. I'm just frustrated by Madame Maynard, and I started blabbering without realizing it. Maynard's wife is back. Oh, she's gonna be awkward. Maynard's wife is back, Klein asked in response. Yes, unfortunately. There was something abnormal about the steam locomotive. It wasn't late. Tully gave an affirmative answer in a joking manner. Klein didn't ask further, but checked if he had all his personal belongings before following Inspector Tully down the stairs. Why aren't you arresting her? She's a murderer. I want to sue her, and I want to sue all of your negligence of duty. I'll hire the best lawyer to sue you. Harsh remarks entered Klein's ears, and he looked over subconsciously. He saw a voluptuous and fair middle-aged lady staring angrily across her. Despite having two young men holding her arms, she continued yelling at them. A very trendy regal gown and buckland. They got a short-term form of premonition. Okay. I like it. That's a good explanation, but it's only small stuff, I think. Yeah, so right now, it looks like it might only be small stuff. I mean, we'll see how much it advances, right? I lost my place. I found my place. The lady was in a long black dress with fair, smooth skin. A very trendy regal... I almost skipped a paragraph. And we know we can't skip paragraphs because it's really important. I missed something super important the last time I skipped the paragraph. A very trendy regal gown and buckland this year. I read that wrong, I'm sorry. Having frequently read the magazine Ladies Aesthetic, the first thought of Klein's mind was something unrelated to the situation. He then saw a few gentlemen protecting a lady behind them. The lady was in a long black dress with fair, smooth skin, waterfall-like brown hair, and brown eyes. She looked as pitiful as a fawn in the woods and made people want to protect her involuntarily. Madame Sharon, Klein suddenly thought of the porno she had starred in. Madame Sharon, Klein suddenly thought of the porno she had starred in. Yo, Cuttlefish is he's going all in on this theme right now. Okay. He quickly lifted his right hand, covered his mouth, and coughed twice. Out of habit, he tapped his left molars twice and observed the people present with spare vision. There's some sort of problem with Miss Maynard's body. The colors of her aura are thinner from the colors of her emotions. She's definitely feeling anger and hatred, which is consistent with her outward appearance. The color of Madame Sharon's emotions are shared in blue, which represents rational thinking and calmness. This is totally contrary to her appearance of panic and nervousness. As expected, a socialite ain't no innocent bunny. Her body is very healthy. I read that wrong. Klein, you dirty dog. That's what I'm thinking, dude. Cuttlefish is a man of culture. We'll see how much he goes all in on this. After examining her, Klein was about to retract his gaze when he suddenly saw Madame Sharon lift her head and steal a glance in his direction. Then she lowered her head again and put on a trembling, trepid look. If I couldn't see your emotion colors directly, I might have been fooled by your act. You shouldn't consider working as an actress, Klein lampooned. He didn't stay any longer and left Maynard's house with Inspector Trolley. He took the carriage arranged by the police station and returned to the Zotland Street. After taking over the ship from the captain, he continued to stay on duty at Chandler's Gate. He took the opportunity to write a claims application. After an uneventful night, Klein returned upstairs and received the breakfast that he had requested Roseanne to buy for him. I love this pastry. We were literally just talking about pastries and bread. He complimented. He had already passed her the money for breakfast ahead of time. Really? I can try it tomorrow then, Roseanne replied happily. The corner of Klein's lips twitched as he focused on his battle with a milk and pastry. At 25 minutes past 8, he yawned and fought back the urge to fall asleep. Dude, that's me at that time. I'm fighting the urge to go to sleep at that time. He arrived at the nearby shooting club. You need to be corrupted a bit to be recognized corruption in chat. Like you need what was it that they said? You need to be a monster to fight monsters. Isn't that something that they said in Lord of Mysteries or something along those lines? You go for a bit? No, it's okay, Mayo. No, you're dude. Take care, bro. No, we'll see you soon, dude. We should. I'm pretty sure we'll still be streaming. He had made an appointment with the asylum doctor, Daxter Guderian, a few days ago. Bang, bang, bang. In a small shooting range, Klein... I wonder if his aiming is more proficient. Klein and Daxter aimed at their own targets and finished their cylinder of bullets. Clink, clank. Daxter flipped and released the empty shells and examined Klein in interest. You're much more confident than before. Of course, I advanced to Sequence A. I now possess actual combat ability. Klein reflected on his own facial expressions and body movements. He's acting all cocky now. Klein reflected on his own facial expressions and body movements, and his head and delivery acted arrogantly. Because I only used about a month's time to master the power of my potion completely, Daxter pouted slightly and said, although that is something to be proud of, there's no need to say it all the time. He was like, bro, I get it. I was like, I get it, bro. Stop bragging, dude. Hey, as a spectator, you didn't see through my performance. From the looks of it, a clown has the power to suppress a spectator's... Hey, as a spectator, you didn't see through my performance. Oh. So he's technically performing. Ah, you didn't see through my performance. Ah, I can see how lampooning plays into this. As long as you're like keeping up a performance, you're technically acting as a clown. Okay, maybe he's onto something. Hey, as a spectator, you didn't see through my performance. From the looks of it, a clown has the power to suppress a specter's abilities. Ah, and he's performing. Klein smiled at his discovery and asked, how's Hood Eugene recently? He's gone insane for real. That's not good. Hood Eugene, so potential fights is going to be Hood Eugene, Trissy, or Quill, the pirate guy. He's gone insane for real. Daxter, 3 potential fights. We'll see who is the fight. He's gone insane for real. Daxter paused and continued. I probed him with various methods. He really has gone insane. I'm considering whether to begin medicating him to see if I can treat him. As a Sequence 7 psychiatrist, he actually pretended to be a mental patient. Even though he was giving treatment to... Oh, that makes sense. If he's pretending to be a psychiatrist, then... when he's in the asylum, he can treat them behind the scenes. Clown control all his muscle movements so they can act perfectly. Oh. And since he's not picking it up, he's doing a clown performance. Okay. Okay, so he's onto something. But, oh my god, I know I'm saying it wrong. We're going to reread this part. You guys ready? As a Sequence 7... psychiatrist, he actually pretended to be a mental patient. Even though he was giving treatment to other patients, it doesn't align with the core elements of the potion name. That was an incorrect way of using the acting method. Look at the message Randy sent. What did he send? Okay, let's keep going. That was an incorrect way of using the acting method. It's no wonder that he went insane. Klein thought and said, before he went insane, did you find out who got in contact with him? Besides the doctors, patients, nurses, and odd jobs worked in the asylum, there were no outsiders that had contact with him. Daxter confidently replied. Klein briefly acknowledged that, as he said, how about even earlier? Is there anyone that visited him or that he leave the asylum regularly for a period of time? In order to follow through with his what? In order... Oh, my nose. Okay, I was going to sneeze, but it went away. Spectator watch for small gestures, but clowns can hide all of those. So now he can observe everybody's small gestures, and he can hide his own. That's kind of broken. Did I not? Oh, you're thinking before I finish the chapter. I got you, Mysterious Phil. In order to follow through, let me make sure I didn't skip a line. Besides doctors, patients, nurses, and odd jobs workers in the asylum, there were no outsiders that had contact with him, Daxter confidently replied. Klein briefly acknowledged that he said, how about even earlier? Is there anyone that visited him, or did he leave the asylum regularly for a period of time? In order to follow through his initial promise, Klein never asked anything about Hood Eugene in the first few meetings. Daxter fell into deep thought. It took him some time before he said, besides the member of the psychology alchemist, there weren't any more than 5 that visited him. One of them came thrice. His name was L. Without Klein asking, he continued, but I heard from Hood Eugene that L was a pseudonym. His real name was called Lanivus. Wait! We've heard that name before. My stream is Thursday. I predict when you will finish the chapter. Okay. Klein doesn't watch for small gestures. It's spectators that do that. Okay. Thank you. I get it. Who's Lanevus? I've said this name before. All right, here we go. No more stalling. I got you guys. Our Tarot Club. Yeah, this is our Tarot Club secret. I literally just brought it up during the recording. Damn. Okay. We're not gonna talk about that. That is our little Tarot Club secret, okay? Let's continue. Don't pressure. You're safe. Do it one by one. Chapter 175 is called Deduction. Lanebus, that criminal who cheated both money and sex, to think that he had a connection to Hood Eugene from the psychology alchemist. Klein froze for a moment when he heard the name. He immediately thought about the implications of the name Lovenus. This is a coincidence. He's the cheat that escaped. It was 10,000 pounds? I thought it was like 1,000 max. Yeah, we'll make the Ellie emojis. I got you guys. Yeah, I'll try and do that right now once we finish. Providing a clue would earn me 10 pounds, and if I help in capturing this moving treasury, he's a moving treasury, I'll earn 100 pounds. He's a scum that took advantage of the bodies and feelings of innocent women to think that he knows Hood Eugene and went to visit him 3 times at the mental asylum. Does this mean he's connected to the Beyonder Circle, or that he's a Beyonder himself? Klein suddenly recalled the name of a potion, the Martyr Pathway. Oh, he's a swindler. The Martyr Pathway Sequence 8 Swindler. Let me write that down. Okay, I think I haven't write it down, but just I'm gonna just write it down just in case I forget, or unless I didn't have it. These Beyonders took pleasure in swindling others. It's very possible. Klein nodded and thought. He controlled his facial expressions and body language, feigning nonchalance as he asked, Then when Miss Leneveu's last visit to Hood Eugene? Early July, I would have to check. Oh, maybe that's why he swindled his own wife, because then he like really goes up and digests his potion. Early July, I would have to check the registration records of the mental asylum to give you a specific date. Daxter Guderian replied after a few seconds of thought, Morarder, not martyr. Morarder. The loading, the monkey in the loading. My bad. Primordial curly-haired Badoon strikes again. Early July. How can you use the correct pronunciation and then change it to the wrong one? Did I do that? I did that by accident. I'm so strong, dude. I literally did that without even knowing. It's literally muscle memory at this point. Early July, I would have to check the registration records of the mental asylum to give you a specific date. Dr. Gudrun replied after a few seconds of thought. Lendevu's scam hadn't been exposed back in early July, and he hadn't left Tingen. Client then asked, does Hood Eugene mention this person usually? No, you should understand that a Sequence 7 psychiatrist would never reveal something by accident. Every word they say has been deliberated over thoroughly. It would be impossible to learn their secrets unless they have some other hidden motives. I was only able to get the telepathist formula after Hood Eugene went mad. Alright, have you determined the authenticity of the formula? Daxter expertly hid his feelings of pride towards his pathway potions. Klein laughed and replied, "It's authentic. When you need to advance, you can use the Concord your potion without worry." I read that wrong. "We can help and if the psychology alchemists are unable to provide you with the ingredients. Also, how have you been lately?" "Not too bad. Other than being a little worried about Hood Eugene's condition, I feel rather relaxed. I no longer have symptoms of a split personality. You've helped me greatly in the regard," Daxter Gurdian said, full of emotion. Klein wore a humble expression. "It's only right. Let's return to the topic at hand. Since you said that a psychiatrist..." I said it wrong. I said it right. "Would deliberate over their every word before uttering it and would easily reveal their secrets. Why did Hood Eugene tell that L is Lenavus? Was he hinting at something or was he trying to warn you about anything?" Daxter froze for a moment, then caressed his brows. "Not technically a speller, he doesn't know what it means." Okay. We'll be careful. Wait, I won't read what it was, just to be safe. Daxter froze for a moment, then caressed his brows. "This is really weird to think that I didn't notice this. Other than that, Hood Eugene didn't mention anything else. Could his motives be for me to tell the upper echelons of the association about the name Lenavus should he meet with any problems? The association's reaction seems strange too. After I informed them about Hood Eugene's insanity, they did send a liaison. I read that wrong. But after I described every detail, including Lenavus' name, there were no more replies for the upper echelons. It was like being a stone cast in the ocean. Could this mean that they've figured something out? A reasonable deduction. Klein took out his demon hunting bullets and stuffed them into the revolver, then took aim at the target. If we followed this deduction, Hood Eugene might have long anticipated that he would become insane or die, and this has an untenable connection with Lenavus. Oh, dude, he's the fight. We're almost done with Volume 1. We have to be fighting him. But since he already anticipated it, why didn't he ask for help from the upper echelons? Daxter gazed blankly ahead. He thought hard and said, "Unfortunately, he's insane now. There's no way to effectively communicate with him now. Perhaps some kind of temptation made him choose to take the risk." Oh, he heard the voices, just like the Hidden Sage. Probably not the Hidden Sage, but maybe somebody else, right? Klein made a guess. At the same time, he felt that it was regrettable that Hood Eugene had really become a mental patient. This compromised much of the information that he might have otherwise gotten. "Sai, even a dead person is better than a lunatic. I can use mediumship rituals to make the dead talk, but what can I do with lunatic? Oh right, Madame Dally once tried to use mediumship rituals to call upon my lost memories. The theory behind the mediumship ritual seems to have been derived from the psychology alchemist. This means that I can also use the mediumship rituals on the living and create a scenario where I interact with the spirit directly, use my spirit. I wonder if Hugh Eugene would still be insane under those conditions. Unfortunately, I'm not advanced enough in the field, so I don't think I would be able to do it. I'll call upon the messenger and ask Madame Dally about it first. I'll see if she can provide me with any techniques. If she thinks that only she can accomplish it, then I'll tell the captain and get him to send a telegraph to Backlund to request for assistance. I'm definitely not taking this troublesome course of action just because I want to learn the technique and attempt the ritual to summon the messenger." Many thoughts ran through Klein's mind before he gradually narrowed it down to a single line of thought that could solve the problem. Daxter Gurdian approved of his guess. Greed always makes one foolish, even when a person knows that there's only the abyss in front of him. He'll still attempt to walk to the edge and take a peek. This is called crazily testing the limits of fate, Klein lampooned. Try your best to treat Hood Eugene after returning to the mental asylum. Try to keep him sober for a period of time and get him clues out of him. Also, don't hide your worries and anxieties. Establish more connections with the psychology alchemists and put pressure on them to solve Hood Eugene's problems. That's the most normal, reasonable reaction. Daxter nodded seriously. I'll try my best. Klein didn't say any more, and after some deliberation, he asked, "Has there been any abnormalities with Hood Eugene's body recently? For example, this scales growing on some parts of his body." For example, thin scales growing on some part of his body. Didn't that happen to the guy from the Mandated Punishers, the one that lost control? I remember, I think it said he also had scales. I haven't read Deep Sea's Embers. You know what actually popped up on YouTube algorithm? It's a manhwa, I think, called Bones. It's a dude trapped in like a crystal and he keeps hitting it and his bones keep getting stronger. But that's all I know. That's the only series I've come across recently. that I might read. I don't know. Near insanity, true insanity. For example, thin scales. So there's different tiers of insanity. Near insanity, true insanity, and losing control were all descriptions of varying levels for a beyonder when something was wrong with them. So he's near insanity, or truly insane. When something was wrong with them, the least severe of the conditions were within their attitude was when their attitude changed if they had become a new person. Yes, fish scales specifically. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was fish scales. But they were still capable of rational thoughts and actions. That was near insanity. Insanity was more severe, and that person would lose. Wait, were there ever any signs for old Neil? Near insanity. Was he ever nearly insane? Bones of stress. Unhinged provoker. I hate my internet provider. That was near insanity. I wonder if there was ever signs for old Neil. Insanely was more severe. That person would lose all logic, becoming a maniac, and was difficult to communicate with. Those that couldn't be saved were those whose body and mind had become monsters, completely losing control. Sometimes if the problem wasn't dealt with promptly, insanity would lead to losing control. Before this, to avoid exposure, the informant within the psychology alchemist Dunn instructed the Nighthawks not to immediately deal with Hood Eugene. Instead, they switched to surveillance to ensure that Hood Eugene didn't lose control. But if there were signs of him losing control, they would have to deal with him immediately. Daxter shook his head and let out a bitter laugh. No, you can ease your concern. I'm also very afraid that Hood Eugene will lose control, so I'm paying very close attention to the detail. After all, I'm at the mental asylum 6 times a week. After exchanging a few more words, they left the shooting range 10 minutes apart. Klein fought back his intense desire to sleep and took a public carriage back to Daffodil Street. He opened the door and saw his sister sitting on the sofa. She was neither reading nor was she fiddling with her machinery parts. She was just staring blankly ahead as if she had lost her soul. Okay. Tapping his molars gently, Klein activated his spirit vision and asked him puzzled, Melissa, did something happen? She looks healthy based on the color of her aura, not malnourished like she was before. Melissa retracted her gaze and pursed her lips, then looked at the kitchen, which was producing some noise. Bella has been recommending the way that her family prepares breakfast back at home. She said that it's very delicious. I agreed to let her try it out this morning. What method is that? Klein had an ominous feeling. Cooking all the leftovers in a pot. She's scared. Cooking all the leftovers in a pot, then adding water and bread. Melissa repeated softly. Cooking all the leftovers in a pot, then adding water and bread. This is the standard recipe for food of unknown origins. Klein pinched his forehead. And so, we shouldn't waste food. Melissa bit her lips and nodded. Sis, I feel like you are questioning life. Klein cleared his throat and suppressed his desire to laugh. He then asked, where's Benson? In the bathroom. Did he get a... Like, did that come out of him the wrong way from eating that? In the bathroom, Melissa broke free of her daze and asked, as her eyes regained their luster. At that moment, he heard the sounds of flushing from the bathroom. Benson came out with a newspaper in his hand. My dear Klein, shall we get you a portion of breakfast? No, I've already eaten. Klein shook his head, resolutely feeling lucky that he arranged to meet Daxter in the morning. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gotten Roseanne to buy breakfast for him. How regrettable. Otherwise, you wouldn't change your views of my culinary skills and be filled with confidence about it. Benson let out a self-deprecating laugh. At this moment, Melissa noticed something. She turned to look at Klein and said, you're back rather late today. Dad, he was kind of late. Sis, be more innocent and lively. Don't worry about me all the time. The state you were in just now was great. Klein immediately smiled. I have good news. You passed the examination of the police department and can obtain an increased salary. Melissa asked without thinking. Benson also smiled and nodded. Klein grabbed his hat and stood at the edge of the living room. He said in amusement, how am I supposed to surprise you guys like that? After that, he added with a dry cough, yes, my salary has increased several-fold. He hid his recent increment of 4 additional pounds a week. He intended to save up a small piggy bank for himself. After all, he couldn't just rely on the money in the unmarked account. Furthermore, mentioning that his salary had increased several-fold, he was enough to scare his siblings. 6 pounds, Melissa exclaimed in shock, finding it bizarre. I really need to change my job. Benson stroked his hairline. With the information Klein provided, he had been putting a lot of effort into his studies. Without waiting for Klein to speak, Melissa said with a delicate expression, in that case, after deducing our normal expenses, you'll be able to save up enough money in 2 or 3 years to meet the standards of a marriageable gentleman. Well, it was Elizabeth who took me about the standards. Klein said at a loss of muse, that's something to be considered far in the future. Shouldn't we celebrate? I hereby announce that from today on, our staple food shall become white bread. After my workload decreases, we shall go try our delicacies from different restaurants. Aw, look at them move up. I'm so happy for them already. Oh, that is so beautiful. They're like, what? Really? Really, brother? Melissa glanced at him, and as though she did not hear what Klein had said, she said, Benson and I are attending Mass at the St. Selena Cathedral. Do you want to come? Shut up. There was a fight in a cathedral in the anime. No. I am praising the goddess every day. Klein laughed. I need to catch up on sleep. No. He slept until 12:30 in the afternoon. After he had lunch with Benson and Melissa, he continued on with his mission and searched all the houses with red chimneys. When it was late at night, he sealed his room with spirituality and prepared to try the ritual for summoning Spirit Guide Dali's messenger. Update top left. Super quick. You were quick, bro. You were quick, mysterious fool. Yeah, you're gonna read this chapter with me, Ellie, whether you like it or not. I love you. Chapter 176 is called Letter. For Klein, setting up a simple ritual was as easy as breathing. Very soon, he was done preparing the ingredients as he lit up the candle that represented himself. Look at the flickering candlelight. Oh, he's gonna try and summon himself. Klein had an amusing thought for some baffling reason. Would this be considered holding a candlelight vigil in memory of myself? Fuck, what the hell am I thinking? He reined back his thoughts and picked up the black rotten flower powder that belonged to the domain of the deaf and sprinkled it onto the candle. Returned, he caught a whiff of a smell that was akin to formaldehyde formaldehyde. By the way, hi Ellie. You guys want to say hi to Ellie? Say hi, Ellie. Formaldehyde from his previous life. Immediately after that, I'm gonna take off my headphones so she doesn't get tangled up. Immediately after that, he dripped full moon essence oil, a favorite item of the Evernight. Amidst a sizzling crackle, his surroundings suddenly became quiet, and there was a shapeless magical surge. Klein took a step back and softly recited an ancient Hermes. I. Then he changed into Hermes. I summon in my name the spirit that wanders about the unfound, the higher dimensional creature that a human orders. The messenger that belongs to Dali Simon Whoosh. The wind wailed as the dim candlelight was tainted with a blue luster. Under the illuminations and funerals, formaldehyde for preserving dead bodies and funerals. Oh, okay. I got it. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, I don't know what that was. It's what preserves them, right? Or like it was like an open casket and all that. Or that's what they use, right, to preserve it. Under its illumination, the wall behind the desk produced translucent ripples, and a creepy face surfaced. Other than its mouth, it had no eyebrows, eyes, or nose. Its thick lips parted as long as red tongue, and a long red tongue was extended. There was a sharp, irregular teeth that lined its mouth and... Wait, what? Wait, let me reread this. What is he summoning? Bro, still can't pronounce... Simon? Simone. My favorite beverage. Simony? Semen. That's not what I said. Let's reread this. Then he changed into Herman's. I summon in my name. Let me read this again because he's trying to summon himself, right? Back then it was like a doll. Simon. Not... oh, Simon. Simon. I got it. Thank you, Zen. Then he changed into Hermes. I summon in my name the spirit that wanders about and the unfound higher dimensions created. Oh my god! I can't clip it. I can't clip it. Pause. You heard nothing. Let me reread this again. Then he changed into Hermes. I summon in my name the spirit that wanders about the unfounded, the higher dimensional creatures that a human orders, the messenger that belongs to the Zali Simon. Pause, clip. Whoosh! The wind wailed and the dim candle light was tainted with a blue luster. Under its illumination, the wall behind the desk produced translucent ripples and a creepy face clip sent forgot sequence. Under its illumination, the wall behind the desk produced translucent ripples and a creepy face surface. Other than its mouth, it had no eyebrows, eyes, or nose. Its thick lips parted and a long red tongue was extended. There were sharp, irregular teeth that lined its mouth. In addition, the tip of the tongue had 5 delicate fingers. They were constantly extended and retracting as though they were waiting for delivery. This is Dali's messenger. Compared to Mr. Zix, is just like a child. No, I can't accurately determine their difference. Yes, one is an adult giant and the other is a human baby. I wonder if it's due to the magical item or if it signifies Mr. Zix's strength. I have to reevaluate my understanding of him. Perhaps he's a high sequence beyonder. Crap, I forgot. In the letter, I should have asked Madame Dali for the names of the Sequence 4 Sequence 3 corpse collector pathways. Mr. Zig most likely belongs to that pathway. Of course, he might have not advanced via potions. Just perhaps it's a gene that's passed down from his ancestors. Oh, like the monster kid. Like the monster kid, right? Maybe he's like that. I'll ask next time the messenger's waiting. Klein looked at it seriously for a while and passed neatly folded paper into the messenger's hand. Then he watched as the hand gripped it tightly. Whoosh. The messenger retracted its tongue and swallowed the letter. The translucent, creepy, and regal face shrank back into the wall and disappeared. I've got to say, this magic is quite cool. Rather convenient too. But it can't be spread. Klein looked at the candlelight. Then he had returned to normal. He shook his head and ended the ritual. Monday morning, buckle on Emperor's Borough in a hidden corner of the municipal garden built by Duke Negan. Zhao de Richa with her unkempt blonde hair and forest wall with her languid bearing were gawking at the lazen before them in a daze. I read that wrong. Simon, as in the Spanish word see. Simon, see. Simon? Is that how you pronounce it? Prosequence. Jojo? Was that a Jojo reference? In a hidden corner of a municipal garden built by Duke Negan, Zhao de Richa with her unkempt blonde hair and forest wall, with her languid bearing, were gawking at the liaison before them in a daze. I don't know what that is. They were momentarily at a loss at which language to use for a greeting. The petite Zhao, who was slightly over 1.5 meters tall, looked at the golden retriever that had extended its tongue and was wagging its tail. She smoothed out her training night attire and weighed her words before she said, "Are you Miss Audrey's messenger?" Oh my goddess, why am I asking a dog so seriously? If only she knew. Yes, that's the pronunciation. Simone. Okay, got it. That's the pronunciation. Forrest was holding a thin cigarette with her fingers as she chuckled. Too lazy to watch anime anymore after starting the novel arc. We're in the Ovalnark arc. Forrest was holding a thin cigarette with her fingers as she chuckled. Maybe it's a magical creature. I've never seen a magical creature that looks so much like a dog. Zhao replied in all seriousness. Susie, not Sussy. Susie sat down and closed her mouth. She then pointed at her belly with her paw. Susie sat down, closed her mouth. She then pointed at her belly with her paw. There was a leather pouch tied around the dog's body amidst her long golden fur. Zhao looked to her left and right, making sure that there was no one watching before she quickly moved closer. She bent down and removed her pouch. Forrest watched curiously when her expression suddenly turned weird. It's made of crocodile skin and it looks like the work of a fashion designer. Mr. Sadie's, she's actually using such a pouch for transaction. In other words, it's very expensive. Zhao raised the leather pouch. Forrest pursed her lips tightly and nodded seriously. Zhao instantly lowered her speed in an exaggerated manner. She carefully opened the zipper and took out the letter inside, as though she was carrying an antique vase in her hands. After she read it, she passed the letter to Forrest. Forrest burned it with her cigarette. After reading it carefully, she watched as it turned into ashes and scattered onto the soil. There's no extra information provided. Zhao pouted subconsciously. She took out a neatly folded paper from the pocket of her training night attire. She looked at Susie in an opposing manner and exhorted subconsciously. This is the investigation report for the past few days. This is the investigation report for the past few days. You must pass it on to Miss Audrey Hall directly. Susie? Oh, we're waiting for the pronunciation. Oh, good night. Oh, Zhao Shio. Oh, my, you're right. You're right. Shion's name is Xion in Kingdom Hearts. See, like when I'm reading live, some words just don't click in my brain. I don't know why. Some words just don't click. Yeah, Shion or Shion, the XIO is she. Oh, she. Oh, so it's Shio. Shio. Shio kind of makes an H sound in Chinese. Oh, thank you. Now we know. We're learning more. Thank you. Now I got it. So whenever there's an X is she. Shio. XI is she. Shio pouted subconsciously. She took out a neatly folded paper from the pocket of her training night attire. Well, now he gets it. Now I get it. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I'm over here. Like, I've always liked that character, Shion. I don't know if you guys ever played the DS game back in the day. That messed me up as a kid, man. When you get to the very ending with Shion, I'm like, damn, man, that was a really good character. And I can't believe I never pieced it together, the XI. Z. No, yeah, in Kingdom Hearts, her name is Shion instead of Xion or Ixion. Or what am I saying? Zhao? Yeah, never mind. +1 IQ. Yeah, we've increased. We've gone up. She looked at Susie in an imposing manner and exhorted subconsciously. This is the investigation report for the past few days. You must pass this on to Miss Audrey Hall directly. Susie quivered and sat up straight. Her tail was wagging vigorously. Shio nodded in satisfaction, stuffed the stack of papers into the letter pouch and tied it around Susie again. Susie howled and ran off very quickly. In the Hall family's luxurious villa. Same, I also say Gio. I always read her name as She-O. Easy, we can tell the words are not your strong suit. Yeah, no, they are. And look, we're over here reading Lord of the Mysteries, and words are not my strong suit. It's a learning process. It's a learning process. Luckily, I feel like my reading speed has improved when I'm not stuttering every other word. You know, so I'm taking this as a plus. I'm taking this as a learning process. And I lost my place. Oh, I found it. And in the Hall family's luxurious villa, Audrey was sitting on the sofa of her own living room. She was holding a letter opener and was trying to open the letter before her. It was a letter sent by one of her brothers from the Balm Empire in the southern continent. There was a parcel that came along with the letter. At that moment, she saw Susie, but she opened the half-closed door. The dog dashed over quickly. Susie sat on the carpet before Audrey and pawed at the leather pouch. You really are an excellent messenger. Audrey wasn't stingy with her complaints. Susie looked back at the door. It induced vibrations in the air and said softly, "Your friend is very serious." When I saw her, she reminded me of the time when a hunter came to train us. She had been a complimentary... Is she saying all this? She had been a complimentary gift when the Count Hall bought hunting dogs. Sissy, your Loan is getting more and more fluent. There are just a few problems with your logic in using the language. Audrey watched as her golden retriever took off the pouch on her own and skillfully pulled open the zipper. She gave Susie a look and immediately understood. She stood up and ran to lock the door. There's no... Oh my god. I'm not gonna say it. I thought of something. Not even gonna bring it up. Not even gonna bring it up until we finish Lord of Mysteries. I will not manifest this thought. Not even gonna touch this theory within 1,000 feet. She gave Susie a look and immediately understood. She stood up and ran to look the door. There's no result so far, but we found some vagrants disappeared around the Backland Bridge borough, though we can't know for sure that it was Quillingus the pirate. Perhaps the vagrants merely changed their movement pattern suddenly. Audrey flipped through the investigation reports and seriously wondered how she should reply to Shio and Fours. I'll tell Shio that as long as she can track down Rear Admiral Hurricane Quillingus. I'll buy the Sheriff potion formula from her. No, that's not friendly enough. It would make her feel an inferiority complex. Yes, I shall say, Shio, I prepared your reward. As long as you can complete the task, 450 pounds will be yours. Sai, as far as the main ingredients for the telepathist formula, I've only found the Farsman rabbit spinal fluid. I still need the rainbow salamander pituitary gland, Glaint, Shio, and Force have yet to find it. Audrey, cheer up. At least you've digested a spectator potion. She's ready. Audrey cheered up. At least you've digested the spectator potion completely. Once you put together all the ingredients, you'll become a sequence Ent Beyonder. She's ready, dude. Audrey reined in her thoughts, picked up a pen and paper, and quickly wrote with reply. She stuffed it back into the letter pouch and entrusted Susie to make another trip. She watched her golden retriever as she opened the letter that her brother had sent. She read it with a smile. My dear sister, I think you should come. She watched her golden retriever as she opened the letter that her brother had sent. She read it with a smile. My dear sister, I think you should come to the southern continent too. Oh. Come over to the colonized regions of the Balam Empire. There's an abundant sunlight, fresh air, a clean environment, freshly caught seafood, various unique cultures, and the very kind and obedient Balam people who make good servants as well as the smell of freedom. On the contrary, Buckland is cold and moist, the air is bad, there's always dust, and it's always gloomy. Plus, it's highly populated, which leads to all sorts of problems, And the endless balls, banquets, and salons. The social events are so boring and insipid that I would want to stay for a minute. Dear sister, I believe that you share the same feelings. I'm not running away from home, I'm merely seeking my own place in life. But our brother definitely doesn't think so. He's always been a selfish person. Of course, he wouldn't be stingy with you. Because you can only claim a tiny part of the family wealth when I would be the biggest competition in the fight for the inheritance within the ranks of nobles. After all, our father is a duke who has taken long view. He definitely wouldn't be restrained by the rule that the eldest singly would inherit the rank of nobility. As long as he feels that it's necessary, he would do anything. Just like when he sold off half of the farmland and pastures to enter the banking industry regarding that of the stronger position. I miss Backland, sometimes mostly father, mother, and you. I miss the smile that you put on my face during those few years. You must have become the most dazzling gem in Backland, but unfortunately, I'm only been able to return after 2 years. A career is a man's pride. While the outstanding young people of the Lowen Kingdom treat the world as their stage, you can tell our dear aunt that the coastal regions in the Balam Empire are very suitable for vacations, and especially suited for her. Given how her joints ache and swell in the winter, I sincerely invite her to be my guest. If you can come with her, that would be even better. I didn't send you too many gifts. They're mainly things that are rich with the traditions and styles of Balam, such as the unique yellow silk and the ornaments that are filled with traits related to the worship of death. Oh yeah, they worship death in that region. But it's Butland? Clearly the right pronunciation is Backshots. Yeah, clearly. Hold up. We're using Google Translate. Okay, we'll go with this for now until somebody brings it up again. Just...
Backland.
Backland. Nobody's upset. Everybody agrees it's Backland. Is that not what I'm saying? Okay, Google, stop. Okay, next time it's brought up, we'll say it like that. I didn't send too many gifts. There's mainly things that are rich with traditions and styles of Balam, such as the unique yellow silk and the ornaments that are filled with traits related to the worship of death. I remember that you loved things regarding mysticism, so I'll look around for you. The culture here is full of mystery. After reading the letter, Audrey picked up a pen, paper, and writing board. She leaned back on the sofa, pursed her lips, and wrote seriously, My dearest Alfred, although it has been less than a year, the little sister in your memories has grown up. I don't like mysticism anymore, so you don't have to search for those kinds of things, because it's very dangerous. Audrey puffed up her cheeks and added in her head. She had heard of too many tragedies related to mysterious objects when participating in Beyonder gatherings, and from Shio and Force recounted, she thought and declared excitedly, I'm now interested in biology. Recently, I've been in awe of the rainbow salamander. Ooh, stop it. Can you ask around for me and find out where I can find one of those creatures, or if they have a complete corpse that has been preserved? Her brother would be like, that's kind of weird. What? She's in a biology now after mysticism? What happened? Oh, you were quick. He's like, why does she want to preserve salamander? All right. Chapter 177 is called Sudden Turn of Events. Okay. Audrey stopped writing after she finished sharing some interesting news and scandals about aristocrats. She then adopted a serious pose as she recalled something. With her exceptional memory of a spectator, she arranged the information that she had received from her father's teachings, as well as the news she heard during the background and salons into paragraphs. After creating a draft in her head, Audrey penned, as for the political situation in Buckland, you asked about it's not within my area of interest. I can describe it to you only based on my own impressions and details that I happen to know. Some time ago, Father told me that after the abolishment of the Grain Act, the Grain Act has been brought up a few times. Father told me that after the abolishment of the Grain Act, the prices of crops were declining rapidly. The rent of farmland pastures were also plunging, but I don't know the exact magnitude. I can only explain it to you with this example. As you know, Duke Negan is an aristocrat who owns the most land outside of the royal family. It's said that he owns more than 12 million pounds worth of farmland, pastures and forests. Last year, his land earned him a historical 1.3 mil pounds in rent. But this year, it's forecast that his rent will only be 850,000 pounds. Ah, because of the Grain Act. No way, I only have 37 chapters left. Oh, you guys are saying top left? I got you. Okay, well, let's continue. But this year, it's forecast that his rent was only 850,000 pounds, a whole 450,000 pounds less. That's more than the entirety of the assets that I'm entitled to. Without any further explanation from me, I'm sure that my dear brother will understand that the behavior of the most old-fashioned nobles, they're proud of being landowners, and their income is derived mostly from rent. They place a heavy emphasis on their appearance and would maintain their current lifestyle even if they have to go into debt. They spend tens of thousands of pounds on the upkeep of their castles each year, more than thousands of clothes and jewelry, as well as their persistent hunting activities, social banquets, and other occasional lavish weddings and funerals, etc., etc. With the decrease in rent, according to my knowledge, a good portion of the nobles have met with the financial difficulties. Because of this, Count Wolf has sold 84,000 acres of land in the courtside and gotten 29,000 pounds in return. Viscount Conrad has also sold his art collection worth 55,000 pounds to a national art gallery. Other than a few visionary nobles who had long shifted their focus to steel, coal, railroads, banks, and rubber industries, and the rest of the nobles have been severely affected by the Grain Act. Let us praise our dear Count Hall. Father told me that the financial distress will loosen the control the nobles have over politics. As you can imagine, the number of ministries with blue blood will decline from the next year onwards. So they do not like the Grain Act, right? Author's POV is generally well written, but the concept of world building is a bit bland. I feel like maybe because he's putting so much in the beginning, I guess it comes off that way. Because you guys were confused in the middle part. No, I never heard of it. Oh, I misread. No author's POV. Yes, omniscient first-person viewpoint is different from ROV. I thought that was the same thing. Is ROV and omniscient first-person's viewpoint two different things? Oh, I didn't know that. Father told me that the financial distress will loosen the control of the nobles' hand over politics. Oh, Honor, I thought you guys were talking about this. Okay. Okay, I'm over here getting excited for the stream when he finishes volume 1. I know, dude. I'm ready, dude. Less than 40 chapters. That is crazy, dude. Oh my god. As you can imagine, the number of ministers with blue blood will decline from the next year onwards. In a bid to secure funding, the Conservative Party and the new party has promised to confer upon anyone noble titles as long as they donate a sufficient amount of money and lack any criminal records. Of course, the caveat is that the person who donated the money must own an amount of land befitting of a noble. One example is the rich Mr. Sindras. He purchased the lowest area of land expected of a barren 60,000 acres. They're donated 100,000 pounds to the Charlatan Club and 400,000 pounds to the Conservative Party, and donations to charity among three. This is so much. This is like an unfathomable amount of money. Amount to 300,000 pounds. Finally, he succeeded in receiving the conferment from His Majesty and became a highly regarded baron. Dude, this is like the 1% of the 1%. I've heard that there's a price listing to 300,000 pounds to become a baron and 700,000 to 1 million pounds for a hereditary baron. There's no clear price for the title of viscount or court or count, but I'm sure that those are sufficiently ridiculous. This year, we're talking about other novels. Okay, you guys, I thought you guys were talking about this. Okay, you better schedule streams properly because all chapters are important. I will. Okay, spoilers. We're reading more Lord of Mysteries tomorrow. We're locking in. We're locking in, brothers and sisters. Oh, we're going straight into Lord of Mysteries tomorrow. We might stream a lot earlier because I have a slight short day, so I think I'll be good on time. So we'll see how much we can read. I don't know. We'll find out. This year, many nobles were facing. I think I read this. I lied. I haven't read this. This year, many nobles who are facing financial difficulties are starting to seriously consider the possibility of marriages with wealthy merchants. Oh, because of the Grain Act. There have already been 3 marriages like this over the last 2 months. The betrothal gifts that noblewomen received are something to be envied. Also, the workers who protested the Grain Act did experience a decrease in the cost of living, but the quality of their lives has not improved. Instead, it seems to have deteriorated as the bankrupt farmers have entered the city and stolen their jobs by requesting lower wages. Thus, the wages of the laborers are dropping rapidly. I remember the day when Father asked me who I felt was the winner of the Grain Act. My dear Alfred, you must know the answer. You would definitely be able to obtain a hereditary baron title through your own efforts. Gio Derecha and Forest Wall were returned to the Backland Bridge borough after received Audrey's reply. Shion with her... I say Shion, I was thinking Kingdom Hearts. Shio with her messy blonde hair was looking out of the window of the carriage. Her eyes were bright like 2 burning balls of flame. She muttered the term 450 pounds to herself repeatedly as if reciting an incantation. Her strength from courage grew every time she repeated the term. Darkholm hasn't reported the status of the investigation today. Let's make a trip to this house. Shio suddenly turned to look at Forrest. Darkholm was the leader of a triad in the Backland East Borough and had control over... Wait. Lend back. I did promise. Yeah, you guys did say remember the Grain Act. Or remember. So we're going to say... Lend back. I'll stop. Darkholm was the leader of the triad in the Lindback East Borough of... I'll stop. And had control over many beggars and thieves. Even though he looked very friendly with his chubby face that was perpetually adorned with a warm, amenable smile, Shio knew that she was a merciless scoundrel. He once broke the arm of a 13-year-old because the boy had hidden his profit. Unless it was necessary, Shio was unwilling to meet Darkholm, but Darkholm was the one with the few people who were most familiar with the vagrants in the city. Force pushed her slightly curly hair back behind her ear. As long as it doesn't delay my lunch, no problem. Perhaps I could treat you to an Intis feast after this week. Zhao promising complacency. Must I thank God? Force asked as she laughed. Unlike Zhao, Force was a moderate believer of God of steam and machinery. As day conserved, the 2 ladies switched to another public carriage and arrived at the Backland East Borough and arrived at Darkholm's house. It was a terrace house located in a narrow alley. There were green plants hanging from the walls. The exterior looked relatively unkept. Zhao walked to the door, raised her right hand, and knocked in a unique rhythm. The unlocked door opened with a creak following her knocks. Shio, apparently confused expression, immediately turned stern like a wary lion's. She took out a bayonet she carried with her and cautiously pushed open the door. What? She then slowly stepped inside. Force also stopped looking nonchalant, having produced a dagger of unknown origins. Is she a clown? No, she's not a clown. Because I'm like, she made a dagger like Klein. Oh, you're going to leave down username? By everyone, you should save manwha for next stream. Yeah, we'll save it. Yeah, since we've been reading a lot of Lord of Mysteries today. Yeah, no, it's okay, dude. Hey, yo, man, take care, man. Have a good day or night, username. Nah, dude, thank you for stopping by for so long, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you. Zhao, apparently confused expression, immediately turned stern like a wary lion. She took out the bayonet she carried with her, cautiously pushed open the door. She then slowly stepped inside. Force also stopped looking nonchalant, having produced a dagger of unknown origins. They didn't smell any peculiar scents, but the rich experience told them that something was off. One step, two steps, three steps. Shio and Force entered Darkholm's house. Then they saw a pale limb on a gas lamp. Oh, he's dead. Internal organs on a coffee table, as well as strips upon strips of flesh strewn on the floor and hung on the cloth rack. Pieces of bone had been stripped clean and piled up near the door. And amongst the bones that was a head, its vacant eyes open. It was none other than Darkholm. His chubby face still maintained the amiable smile, as if everything was normal. Furthermore, there was no stench of blood in the house. As a formal clinical doctor before becoming a best-selling author in sequence 9 Beyonder, Force has seen many death scenes more disgusting than this. Why? Oh, formal clinical doctor. Oh, she became a book writer because of her sequence pathway. She patted the tense Shio, who was on the brink of vomiting, as she surveyed her surroundings. Oh, you're right. Walls closing. Let's play Walls Closing In. You're right. Okay, now we play the song. His chubby... Let me reread this part then. And amongst the bones was a head. Its vacant eyes open. It was none other than Darkholm. His chubby face still maintained the amiable smile, as if everything was normal. Furthermore, there was no stench of blood in the house. As a former clinical doctor before becoming a best-selling author in sequence 9 Beyonder, Force has seen many death scenes more disgusting than this. She petted the tense Shio, who was on the brink of vomiting, as she surveyed her surroundings. Quillingus? Oh, it is the pirate guy. Rear Admiral Hurricane Quillingus. He realized that Darkholm was investigating the missing vagrants and tracked him back to his house. Or could it be said that Darkholm had tracked him down but ended up being caught? Shio fought back the urge to retch and said with a serious expression, He sure lives up to his name as a merciless and crafty pirate admiral. Strangeness here also fits the description of his treasure. Crafty. Force was suddenly alarmed as she blurted out, Could he be waiting nearby? Oh my god. No! Could he be waiting nearby in an ambush against the mastermind behind the investigations? Shio froze for a moment before answering in a fluster. That's highly likely. He's a sequence since when blessed, a powerful pirate with a mystical artifact, while they were just two sequence lines. This was an extremely simple and easy contrast. In the house opposite Darkholm's house, oh no, that's him. He's watching. In the house opposite Darkholm's house, a man with a unique broad chin and dark green eyes in his 30s was standing by the window, coldly observing Shio and Force opening the door and slow entry. Oh, it's him. He was none other than Rear Admiral Hurricane Quillingus. Oh my god, we found him. Holy snap. The black glove on his left hand twitched as if it were alive. He's hiding something. A layer of dull gold scales appeared on its surface. Hold up. The only time we've heard of scales is when they're semi-insane. Wait, oh, it's the gloves. The black glove on his left hand twitched as if it were alive. A layer of dull gold scales appeared on its surface. Oh, it's the glove. Appeared on its surface. Quillingus revealed a cruel and joyous expression as his dark green eyes turned pale gold and indifferent. Oh my god. Oh, it's over, man. No. The moment Force realized this, she dragged Shio to the other side and avoided the area just across the main door. She then gritted her purely white teeth and took out a bracelet that was hidden by her sleeves. The silver bracelet had three dark green core stones which showed signs of burn marks and were rough and uneven. Oh my god. Force pulls out one of the stones and let out a low growl in ancient Hermes. Is she doing a summoning? Door? She grabbed onto Shio the wretched tightly as the stone released a faint blue glow. The figures of the two ladies turned indistinct. Oh my god, nearly invisible. They saw many forms they found difficult to describe. There were even transparent objects that didn't seem to exist. They saw different colors, lustrous splendors, just like spirit vision. Lustrous splendors which seemed to possess immense knowledge. They had entered the mysterious spirit world. You can actually enter it rather than see it. In this strange world that stood distant from reality, Force proceeded in a particular direction while pulling Shio along. Seconds later, they exited their indistinct states and returned to reality to Backland. But they were no longer at Darkholm's house, but instead arrived at an empty cemetery. Quillingus, who was wearing his scaled gloves, suddenly appeared at the door of Darkholm's house. He swept the interior with his cold gaze. He froze for a moment, then caressed his brows as he muttered to himself, "Traveler? Run? Oh my god." In this cemetery, what are we going to do next? Ford panted, sensing their predicament and feeling a lingering sense of fear. The bracelet was a mystical item she had received along with the formula for apprentice and its corresponding materials back during a fortuitous encounter of hers. Other than causing her to hear strange, faint murmurings during the full moon every month, it posed no threat. There were originally 5 stones on the bracelet. Each stone so she only has 2 more runs. There were originally 5 stones on the bracelet. Each stone allowed her to traverse through the spirit world, technically allowing her to teleport, but now there were only 2 stones left. Shio calmed herself down and nodded solemnly. First notify Miss Audrey, then we call the police. Dude. Oh no, this is not good, dude. Alright, chapter 170 Chapter 178 is called The Subsequent Ideas. Call the police. Forswell repeated in surprise. To Beyonders, lodging a police report seems to be something of another world. Zhao paced back and forth as she tugged her coarse blonde hair. Okay. The scene of Darkholm's death is harrowing and creepy. As long as the police aren't blind, they would definitely pass the case to mandated punishers, the Nighthawks, the Machinery Hive Mind, or Special Department of the Military. When that happens, we can leak some more information and let them know that the murderer is Quillingus. At that point, the entire city will be chasing after him. Our goal is only to look for Quillingus, not to capture him. With the help of so many Beyonders, things will become much simpler and safer. Once Quillingus panics and makes a mistake, it would be our chance to claim our bounty. Heh heh. I'm referring to the discovery of the whereabouts. Shio laughed dryly and looked at the applaud force. Open job position. Until we stop talking about Quillingus. Alright. Do you think that the only... Did I have my timestamp? Yeah, I did. Do you think that... Oh, wait, did I? Yeah, I did. Do you think that the only way I know to deal with problems is by charging into them headfirst? The difference between us and Quillingus is as vast as the Desi Bay? Forrest nodded slowly and said, Your understanding of yourself is absolutely right. You've done too many things of a similar nature, hence the losses that you've suffered is sufficient for you to advance the sequence 8. Luckily, you're still rational enough regarding this matter. Shio lowered her head to look at the bayonet. She thought for a moment and said, I have to be honest, I clearly sensed the approach of death earlier. Quillingus was no doubt nearby. That was the aura of evil enough to destroy us at any time. That triggered an instinctual response in me. Forrest wore her silver bracelet and had 2 stones left and thought seriously. I agree with your idea. Let's inform Miss Audrey first and lodge the police report after. Yes, regardless if it was Darkholm or his underlings who found Quillingus traces, we continue to investigate with the approach and first... dude, you're gonna bring in Audrey into this. Oh, dude, take care, Mysterious Foe. I promise not to forget my timestamps. I need to see for exams tomorrow. You're gonna knock it out, bro. Someone take over my job for the rest of the stream. Oh, that's why you guys say open job position. I get you guys. Zhao caressed her slim blonde eyebrows and said, but Quillingus would definitely not remain in the same place. Definitely not stay in the same place. Even as one of the 7 pirate admirals, even if he had the assistance of mystical artifact, Quillingus had to be extremely careful in Backland. Even Nas, the king of the 5 seas, had once encountered disaster here and was nearly caught. No, what I meant was to surmise or confirm the purpose of Quillingus' visit to Backland based on the clues. Once we know what he's trying to do, no matter how well he disguises himself or what tricks he... Oh yeah, because he can change his faces. He'll expose to us in the end. Then our mission would be accomplished. Forrest explained in detail. 2 years of novel writing experience tells me that would become a simple once we grasp the crux of the matter. Shio looked at her best friend in shock. She couldn't believe the woman had just made such a logical statement. I'm different from you. I'm merely too lazy to think while you think with your muscles. Forrest pursed her lips, leaned her head sideways and smiled. No, what What I meant was to surmise or confirm the purpose of Kolinga's visit to Backland based on the clues. Once we know what he's trying to do, no matter how he... Oh, I read that. Zhao looked at her best friend and... Shio looked at her best friend in shock. She couldn't believe that the woman had just made such a logical statement. I'm different from you. I'm merely too lazy to think while you think with your muscles. Force pursed her lips, leaned her head sideways, and smiled. Teasing me doesn't make you smarter. Shio tried to smooth out her few strands of blonde hair that was sticking out. Alright, let's head over to the Emperor's Burrow and tell Miss Audrey about this. Force nodded faintly and said, so what's her emergency contact method with Miss Audrey? Shio was momentarily put at a loss. She looked afar at the tombstone and said, she told me that the pet dog of hers we saw earlier walks herself at least 5 times a day. Well, the next walk should be after lunch. In other words, we have to loiter around suspiciously outside Count Hall's luxurious manor. The corner of For's lips twitched. Shio suddenly looked sideways and revealed an obsequious smile. Obsequious smile? I read that wrong. Force, or would you prefer to just sneak in? I don't think that would be difficult for you. It's what you're good at. A hereditary count for centuries, one of the most influential parliament members in the House of Lords, the largest shareholder of Varvet Bank, the 4th largest shareholder of Backland Bank, the special consultant of the Royal Bank of Loan, the 3rd largest shareholder of the Sichuan Bank in the Intis Republic, the 2nd largest shareholder of the Constant Coal and Steel Consortium, and so on. These are the titles of Miss Audrey's father. Oh, her father. These are the title of Miss Audrey's father. Shio, use your brain. How could a man like that not employ any beyonders? Would he not have any prize collections? This is different from those destitute viscounts and barons. Force her pride and exasperation. I swear in the name of the god, if I were to sneak in, I would be discovered and caught within 5 minutes. Shio nodded continuously in agreement. Let's wait for the golden retriever. Then. With that said, she led the way. After she took a few steps forward, she spoke with her back-facing Force. Well, I will compensate you for your losses and damages in the future. I'm referring to the stone, of course. Listening to that, the corner of Force's lips lifted as she said, I was saving you. I don't like this friendship. I don't like how this volume might end. And Shio, you're going the wrong way. Oh, she lost her way. Good, if you were an apprentice and ended up becoming a traveler in the future, it would be a disaster. Oh, maybe that's the falling apprentice and traveler. Because an apprentice has like a teacher, right? And then maybe they travel with them, and that's why. Oh, maybe Sequence A is traveler. Well, it's not implied yet. I mean, it's implied, but it's not confirmed yet. That's what the pirate said. Quillingus, right? He said, "Oh, traveler." Outside Count Hall's luxurious manor, Shio and Force hid behind an Intis parcel tree and secretly observed their target building in silence, watching the people walk to and fro. After God knows how long, they finally saw the golden retriever come out from a hidden hole under the wall. It pricked up its ears, looked to its left. Looked to its left. Looked to its left. It pricked up its ears and looked to its left and right, appearing very cautious. Just as Susie started taking a walk happily, a black male dog popped up from nowhere. It fawned on Susie and started running around in circles. This is the first time I've seen a dog show such human-like reaction. Just how much does it hate that black dog? Shio sighed. She could tell from Susie's gaze and facial expressions that there was obvious detest. Force smiled and said, It's just like encountering a rash, disgusting and persistently. She doesn't like dogs anymore because she's human. Seeing Susie attempt to speed up to escape the black dog's pursuit, Shio stood up to administer justice. My ruling is for you to leave her alone. Shio shouted with a mask of solemnity. The black dog was taken aback and immediately scampered away with its tail between its legs. Susie let out a breath of relief and slowed down. It barked politely and wagged its tail. That was close. I nearly said thank you to that was close. I nearly said thank you to them. The golden retriever thought in joy. That really would have been a very awkward situation. A melodic tune slowly came to a halt as Audrey picked up the latest intelligence Shio and Force had delivered and read it with knitted brows. She closed the piano cover and stood up elegantly. She paced back and forth in her piano room and considered her next course of action. Quillingus is a very dangerous man. If Shio and Force continue investigating, they might end up in danger. It might even expose me. Yes, I should just produce Yes, I should just proceed according to their suggestions. Oh yeah, it's another 2 hours until the Terror Club. I wonder what Mr. Fool would suggest. If he's still not interested, if she's still not interested, I'll discuss it with the hangman carefully. Audrey gradually calmed herself down. This was the first time she had encountered, or perhaps was described as being placed in such a perilous situation. There was already one death. 3 in the afternoon, Audrey's vision recovered from a crimson and blurry state before seeing the boundless gray fog. Oh my god, my voice. Sorry, I had a burp. It's getting a little raspy. Audrey's vision recovered from a crimson and blurry state before seeing the boundless gray fog that didn't block. Oh, stop it. Are we finishing on a meeting? I was going to tell you guys this is probably going to be my last chapter, and we're at the Terror Club meeting. God. The timing. Audrey's vision recovered from a crimson and blurry state before seeing the boundless gray fog that didn't belong to reality. The lofty palace that looked like the home of a giant, the long ancient modeled bronze table, and the fool who was always engulfed by a thick layer of fog. Lastly, she saw the hangman in the sun. At that moment, Audrey's tense and anxious moments seemed to relax. She felt so safe, so calm. I'm participating in the Terror Club that doesn't belong in the material world. I'm dealing with Mr. Fool, who's nearly a god. Quillingus and I are on different levels. Audrey sat in an upright position proudly. She lifted her head, chin slightly, and greeted cheerfully. Good afternoon, Mr. Fool. Good afternoon, Mr. Hangman. Good afternoon, Mr. Sun. After they greeted one another, Klein saw that Miss Justice was indicating her desire to speak. Therefore, he nodded faintly to express her permission. Honorable Mr. Fool, I wonder if your adorer has received the compensation 300 pounds. Audrey asked, holding back her urge to talk about Quillingus while she showed concern over her leader's adorer. Klein smiled and said, I didn't pay close attention to this matter, but as my adorer didn't request for additional help, I suppose he has already, I suppose so. He has already received it. Oh my god. Yes, I've checked multiple times. Yes, I've checked multiple times. There are 300 pounds lying in an anonymous bank account. Klein added in his head happily. That's great. Is Ellie in here? Oh, she is here. I thought she left. Yes, they know how to hook us in the deep. Yeah, they do, huh? Yes, I've checked multiple times. There are 300 pounds lying in an anonymous bank account. Klein added in his head. That's great. Audrey relaxed and looked across her. Mr. Hangman, there's been progress regarding Quillingus. Olger suddenly sat up straight. He couldn't hide his excitement as he asked, where is he? Unfortunately, that's great. Audrey relaxed and looked across Mr. Hangman, and there's been progress regarding Quillingus. Olger suddenly sat up straight. He couldn't hide his excitement as he asked, where is he? And he's there, right? Olger's in Backland. Oh my god, we're getting an Olger and Olger fight. We're probably gonna get a Terror Club fight. I'm getting so hyped. Unfortunately, he noticed our investigations just after we discovered his tracks. He killed one of the personnel involved. Audrey repeated the highlights of Shio and Four's story and explained their follow-up plan in detail. Olger nodded faintly and said, I'll play close attention. Then he turned to the side and looked towards the seat of honor at the long bronze table. Oh my, I think they're gonna meet up. I think Olger and Audrey are gonna, I think this is the next fight. Audrey, Olger, Quillingus, Fours, and Shio, maybe? And then another potential Nighthawk member if they get sent there? No, this is a different area. Then he turned to the side and looked towards the seat of honor at the long bronze table. Under the vacant gaze of the sun, Derek, who listened but didn't understand anything, he said, Honorable Mr. Fool, if I were to find out Quillingus' true intention and the very important and magical item that he had intended to obtain, please allow me to recite your name and inform you through the ritual. He didn't repeat his request for the fool's adorer to provide him assistance. As he brought it up before the fool, he had given his answer. There was no need to harp on the topic, otherwise it might provoke the god. Hence, Olger made it clear that his intention was only to report his findings. If the final temptation was sufficient, he believed that Mr. Fool's adorer would definitely appear. That works. Audrey widened her eyes. I should have asked for the right to report as well. I might have been able to gain Mr. Fool's guidance occasionally, she thought with regret. Under everyone's gaze, Klein leaned back in his chair and nodded faintly. He replied slowly, You may. Yeah, I feel bad for Derek. He doesn't know what they're saying. He feels so left out, man. Hold your horses, young one. Up the top left. You guys were quick. Mysterious Fool will be proud of you guys. I mean, that is our last chapter for today, since we've been live for like a little. I mean, that is our last chapter for today, since we've been live for like a little over 3 hours. Yeah, I think I'm a rest now. But luckily we'll be back tomorrow longer because we gotta knock out the series, man. We're like almost at the finish line. Let's do this. Oh, wait, okay, so hold up. Before we do our overall thoughts, I think I am gonna save. I'll save the map. You know what? I kind of want to look at the map when I'm done with Volume 1. I think I should do that. I think when I'm done with Volume 1, I'll look at the map. I think it'll be better. Wait, let me do this. Oh, no, wait, no. I actually don't know what I said wrong. Oh, my bad. I definitely stumbled at word. Okay, but... Oh, look, it says for concurrent viewers right under it. Now it has new members. Let the mod give you the map in Discord. I remember you guys did link it, but let me do this. I'll look at the map when we finish Volume 1. Yo, thank you. Thank you, Showman. Yo, what's up? The hidden sage will be with you. The hidden sage will guide you during your exams. No, no. Do not listen to the hidden sage. He is not going to help you during your exams. All right, guys. Well, I'll save the map. You know what? Let me finish. I'll finish Volume 1, and once we're done with the volume, we'll go through all missing character art, the map, and we'll probably do like a brief summary and go through all the characters again. Have you read the new LSC chapter? No, I'm 2 chapters behind. No, I'm 2 chapters behind. I didn't read it yesterday. Yeah, no. So what I'm probably gonna do tomorrow, I'll read the chapters. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. You need to read the Eternal Blazing Sun. You need the Eternal Blazing Sun for exams. He can also help you play piano. No, no, dude. Do not listen to the Hidden Sage's voices or the Eternal Blazing Sun. Both are not good, man. Probably Evernight Goddess. So far, my book, she's a good guy. But do not listen to the others. We'll leave it there. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. This was a slightly long stream, long video. So, apologies if you guys couldn't watch the whole thing. But we will have the bot up. Well, if you guys are watching this now, the true creator for exams, maybe. Yeah, maybe. So far he's being hyped up. Maybe he's the good guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's been the good guy this whole time. Gamers, cultists, and badoons alike. A hinge provoker. This is gonna be our outro, okay? You guys ready? Gamers, cultists, and badoons alike, thank you for tuning in. It was great to have you. And if you want to see more easy content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. I like that. How long for next stream? Probably around the same time. Maybe longer. And also, thank you guys for everybody that joined the membership. As of right now, I don't have any goals or anything for the whole membership thing. But... finish the meeting, you can't stop in the middle. No, we'll save it. We're gonna save the meeting. Bro, true creator propaganda is working. No, that's right. We'll save the meeting for tomorrow. That way we go through the whole meeting. Just because I am kind of... my voice is getting a little raspy. By your will. By your will. Yeah, no, we'll save it for tomorrow. Luckily, it won't be that long from now. Yeah, so it's okay. We'll be back in less than 24 hours. 18 hours? Wait, no, hold up. I'm lying. My math is not mathing. I mean, how many hours until next stream? I actually don't know yet. My math is not mathing. Wait. $16 hours from now? 18 hours from now? I will have the timestamp up. I will have the timestamp up. True creator is good, but the primordial demoness is better. Okay, we'll see. I know you guys have mentioned the word demoness in the pact. Well, we know there's a demoness sect, right? So it's like they have to have like a demoness god. Hey, you know what? That sounds a little spicy. I'm not gonna touch that one. We'll see what happens whenever that's introduced. All right, but I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow, or by the time this video is up, technically today. So, thank you for tuning in. I am rambling on this outro. As you can tell, last stream, it was a terrible intro. I think I am butchering this outro. I think today's intro was a little bit better than yesterday's intro. Our outro is a lot worse than yesterday's. But thank you guys to everybody that's been joining, supporting the streams, and we have new memberships. I'll make sure to have emotes for you guys. That was cool, man. Thank you guys. We had an awesome stream. There was 30 people in here for a good while. Thank you, and I will see you guys very soon. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, gamers, cultists, and Terror Club members are well. The Rosal mustache is getting too easy. You know, I'll be honest, man. I don't think it's gonna work out. My mustache just ain't built for these kind of mustaches. I can't pull it off, man. Hold up, before we end stream, I literally can't pull it off. People telling me I look ugly, you know, because in person it looks a little worse. But look, it won't stay. I can curve it like a little bit, right? But it does not hold form. No. Look, it's not working. This is such a bad outro. We're trying to do a Roselle mustache while I'm working on this outro. Alright, guys. Gamers and cultist member alike. Never give up. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Believe in the you that believes in me, man. Alright, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for tuning in. And I will see you guys in less than 24 hours. Alright, gamers. Peace. And have a beautiful night. Or morning. And we gotta take Ellie to bed because she's just knocked out waiting for me. Just got 500 worth of skincare product that lets you have a beard man's beard. You gotta link that in the Discord. We'll take a look. Oh, and join the Discord if you're here. If you're new here, join the Discord. Like the video, share the video. Get more people in, and you know what? We shall increase our Terror Club streams. Thank you for the stream. Yeah, thank you guys for the stream, and I will see you guys very soon. All right, later, guys.